What's up, good people? I'm your guy, Diddy Onassis. Welcome back to SC Power Moves. We're back in New Ellenton, South Carolina. We're here to talk to another entrepreneur who's been in business for decades. That's right, decades. He's known for doing great business. You've probably seen some of his signs all over the Southeast. We're here at Patterson Signs in the good city of New Ellenton, South Carolina. We get an awesome chance to go in here and pick his brain and try to understand the work behind the man who's been doing great works in the South for many, many years. All right, but don't take my word for it. Let's go holler at the man himself. Let's go check him out. Let's get it.
All righty, how you doing now?
Hey.
Welcome to South Carolina, Welcome to South Carolina,
Hey, how you doing, Patterson?
I'm doing lovely. How about yourself?
Man, I appreciate you, man.
All right.
Appreciate you taking the time out to get with us.
Yes,
SC
sir.
Power Moves. Can you show us around your shop?
Yes, sir. Come on in.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, we're gonna give you a brief tour here.
Okay.
Come on over here. We'll come back around this way. We'll start over here.
All right.
All right, but here, I just put these, I used to have people come in and always ask me about what kind of signs and all you do. So I just put some of these right here to kind of give them an idea. When they come in, they look through that little window there. These are just signs. These are signs we've done in the past, A lot of times I just put them up there to give people an idea of some of what we do.
Look at all this history. This is crazy.
Yeah, we just print out some of these banners.
You did the red bowl?
Yes, we done the Red Bull. We've done that in a couple of different cities. Where's that? Right now? Oh, here it is, yes. Yeah, we've done that for them in a couple of different locations. But we done the one in Aiken.
Nice.
Thank you. Then that Silver Bluff sign there also some years back. They got my new updated one now also.
How about them bulldogs?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You know, I recognize that one right there on the mid left.
Okay, you far familiar with that. That's
Yeah.
That's your dad. So.
Yeah.
Yes,
My
sir.
sister got that done for him.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So it was before and after. Changed it to the cowboy one.
Nice.
Yeah, some people ask me about it. One guy called me and asked me about doing something like that for a steel one. I told him we don't do steelers. Yeah. Okay. And we can come through this way. This is our print room here.
Yes.
But this is our print room, and this is the older one over there. This was our older one. They didn't do it as big.
Okay.
They done it up to about 30 inches. But that's the older one. We wanted to be able to do something pretty much any size we wanted, so we upgraded, and now we have this one right here.
So what's the difference between the three machines?
Again, this one don't print as large, and it's an older model. I had that. I probably had that one. I probably had that 20 years ago.
Okay.
In the last couple years, maybe about 3 years ago, I upgraded to this one. And I don't use that one anymore. But this one is do signs up to over 4 feet wide.
Wow.
50-something inches wide, and it can do it pretty much however long you want it to go. But the average sign is normally like about a 4x8, so as long as it can print up to 4 feet wide, you can do pretty much anything you want to do with it. And you can do, right here, this is some banner material. Used to be, I used to actually have to take the banner material and put the letters on it, either paint it on it. But now, with this machine, you just put this banner material in here, and it'll print it right out on it, whatever you want, pretty much. And it'll also do like digital, like that picture on that wall right there. Or either this picture right here maybe be a better one. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah. You got that. You know, I seen something similar to this in a wrap shop, like
Okay.
auto vehicle wrapping.
Yeah, well, this is what you do. This is what that's done with. If I wanted to do a wrap, what I do is just get the material that you do wraps with. Because on a normal sign, you don't use the same material. It's two different things. But if we're going to do a wrap, now, because I'm going to describe what a wrap is, because some people might not know. A wrap is when you get like a vehicle, it might be white.
Right.
but people may want it to look like we'll look any kind of way. Sometimes some people put trees on it, people on it, whatever. And in fact, I have a picture out there. I can probably show you that later. But what it is, they get like this big picture printed out, full color. And then they put all of that over that car. That car might have used to be white, but when it's finished, you won't even have any idea that it was ever white. It's covered with what we call a wrap. It's just a picture that goes over it. Covers the whole thing. But that's a wrap.
Okay.
All right, so we can go this way. Now, well, I won't talk about that too much. That's the material that we use.
What's up, good people? I hope you're enjoying the show. And if you want to show your support, head over to divinededicatedclothing.com and check out our SC Power Moves merch shop. All right? Support the show. Appreciate it. Let's go. Got it.
Now, if you see this right here, can you see this?
Yeah, 97.9.
Yeah, now this is more like a wrap. It's not a complete wrap because I didn't do the very top of it.
Right.
But if you see here, that little card is blue. So we put that on here and we done the whole car. At the end, it looks black and it has these pictures. I believe that's Beyonce, and I don't know who that is. I don't.
That's
really.
Drake.
Okay.
That's T.I.
Okay, I don't know them really
Beyonce
well.
and Drake.
Okay, but that's a wrap pretty much. Okay. This is pretty much the same way.
Nice.
Because this is not, you know, all this stuff here, that didn't come on there like that. But that's pretty much what a wrap is.
Just get taking the whole wall real quick. Wait. Is that Carolina Dragway?
Yes. This is something this was some years back. We painted that logo there. Yeah, we painted that logo there on the highway right where they race at. That's been several years back. We used to go out there and do lots of work for them quite a while back. And they sold that to someone else. But anyway, yeah, that's what that is. Okay.
Well, so I noticed the Blackville sign. Did you do the New Ellenton sign?
The which one?
The New Ellenton sign.
Yes, we did a New Ellenton sign several years back, and your dad was the mayor during that time. Yeah. We redone 2 of those signs for them. It's still there now. They was, in fact, this is one of them. But
there it is.
We have done a different one. This was one of the first ones we done, but there's the second one right there.
The first one was way better.
That's the other one there. Okay. That's the other one.
Okay.
But they'll ride at signs. Oh yeah. You see that? That's who the mayor was right there.
Yes, sir.
Is that why it look way better?
That's right.
But these like church signs that we done. We done them years back too. Now one up to the top there. Now, this is something here. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is a building. They gave me an idea of what they wanted to look like. And this was the building in the beginning. And we gave it a facelift and it's changed, and this is it afterwards.
Oh man, that's a full transformation. That is crazy. So wow.
Yeah, they gave me a picture. They showed me a picture of what they would like for it to look like in the end. And that's what it is. That's how it looked in the end. They gave me this picture, like they printed it up on the computer. And then we went out there and changed it. So all that has been painted.
I feel like I drove past that place before.
That's in Orangeburg.
Okay.
But now this is a machine here that we'll show you. You have to excuse it. I put some mess up here because I'm about to do my floor. I'm about to redo it. But anyway, this is actually the router table that we talked about. We used to make those signs.
The Edgewater sign?
Yes.
Okay.
And even that New Ellenton sign. But this is how this works. Now again, I got some mess up here because we're about to redo our floors in here, so I just put this up here on this router table for right now. But normally this is not here, and you just take the material and you put it here. You see that router? And years ago, when we was coming up in school, they had this router like that, and you take a piece of wood and you write your name in it, or whatever you wanted on it. But here, this is a big bed, and this here, you make a program with whatever you want that sign to look like. You have to design it, and you put it. Maybe you can see back here. So I moved this again. I moved this stuff here and put it here so I can get it out the way of the flow, so I can do flow. But I usually make these programs that that this router table reads it, and it'll cut it out and do everything we need to be done. But we usually program it. We got some equipment there. It actually tells this how to cut it out and all that type of stuff.
Got it. So it's almost like it's almost like a CAD program.
Yes, exactly right.
Okay.
That is what it is. You're familiar with that, huh?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I worked in manufacturing, and we used to have the CAD program,
Okay.
Hooked up to a huge 3D printer, and we was just printing parts for maintenance and stuff like
Yes,
that.
that's exactly right. So that's pretty much in the same level that this is,
Got it.
but it's just cutting out signs.
Okay.
But it'll do that same what you was talking about. This, you can't really see it right now because I have it backwards, but this is a brake, a metal brake. When I say metal brake, it's what we use to bend metal. Like we might be making a lighted sign, and I would weld the frames and all together. But after you weld the frames together, you have to take the metal and bend it around the frame.
Got it.
And so that's what we use to bend it. You bend it however you want to bend it. This here has been a real blessing to me. You definitely need this to be able to do those lighted signs. Now I can show you this also. Again, if y'all still mess, you have to excuse it.
It's a
working on
workshop.
project
Yes,
here. Okay, this right here, this machine is it's a shear. What it's made to do is cut this. Like this used to be longer. This is just a leftover piece that I have. But you can have a piece of metal. You just put it through here, like this right here. You slide it. You slide it wherever you want it at. And then you step on this right here. You step on this right here, it'll cut it. Kind of like this right here with this example. And normally there's a table back here for this to fall on. But I moved that table to do our floor. But that's a shear. I have other shears, but I have so much stuff in the way that we can't really get to it.
Got it. No, that's a perfect example, man. That's like you almost like Iron Man in here, man, in the workshop, man.
Trying to see what else I can show you, but we'll walk this way.
So who's this? Because I remember back in the day you was into wrestling.
Okay, I'll tell you this right here. This guy here is called a superstar. Okay,
Superstar.
many people think that's me.
I thought so. I always thought that was you.
But I don't reveal this guy's identity, okay? This guy, I've known him for a long time. It's kind of like whenever he's around, I'm not around. But nobody has ever been able to reveal his identity to this day. This guy here he's called Tank. It's really Big Mike.
Okay.
He's from Jackson. Me and Big Mike go back a long way as well. When these people wanted me to get in touch with this guy named the Superstar, I got the Superstar bodyguard, and that's Tank. But again, this is the Masked Superstar. He used to wrestle in these events that we had when we come down. You know, we used to have it at our church, which Crown Christian Center there in Aiken, and we used to have these wrestlers that got saved and gave their life to the Lord to come down and give their testimony and all. And I got in touch with this particular guy. Again, he's a preacher actually. And his initials, I'll tell you that much, that's about all I can tell you. His real name, his initials is RP. And he's a preacher.
Okay.
And usually I call him around whenever I need him to take care of some things that is best for him to handle instead of me. See,
Okay.
Me as a preacher, I have to turn the other cheek. Or as a savior, that guy don't turn the
Superstar don't turn it.
No, he don't turn the other cheek.
I might need to call Superstar. I got some stuff. I got a couple jobs for him.
Yeah, he'll be more than happy to do whatever needs to be done. But yeah, I call him whenever, he can handle things. He knows, that I need to stay out of that.
Yeah.
But as long as I call him, he'll more than take up my life with.
Okay.
But that's him.
So what's the superstar's signature move?
He had what you call the Cobra. Okay. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a Cobra. He used to offer people several hundreds of dollars that if they can break out of it, he'd pay them. Thus far, nobody's ever broke out of it. I don't believe anybody ever will.
So is that a leg lock?
No, it's almost like a sleeper hold.
Ooh.
But yeah, he has been known to put people in something about put them to sleep, but he's nobody to play with. I'll tell you that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And there were people used to ask me, hey, they said they told me you can get in touch with these rascals and get them down here, And I said, well, I can get in touch with Superstar and the Tank pretty easy.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'd arrange it. He'd go there and speak to these people. It's kind of like at a school. He should go there and talk to them and all. And then they'd tell me about it later. They said, oh man, that was great. We appreciate you sending them by. I listened to it. And it's funny to me. But that's the Superstar.
Okay.
He liked doing that. It's been a little bit since he done it. He's probably gonna be around and not long from now though. This is can you see that pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna be redoing those signs for Blackville.
Okay.
And that's where I've laid it out. Now, if we wanted to, but this sign gonna be too big to do it on that router table. But normally, as long as this sign was within a 4x8,
yeah,
we can take it over there and lay it right on that. We'll lay the material right on that router table, and it'll cut out all that, and cut out the design and leave it looking like it is. Then I would have to do the actual drawing and all that. But that's how we do that in the beginning. All right. Now we'll walk over here. I don't know if you can see this, but
Oh, yeah.
I was loving this. This picture is a picture of my granddaddy. I painted that picture probably about 88, something like that. I put him on that wall there because I used to watch Dallas years ago.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know what Dallas is. You might be too young.
The TV show,
Dallas,
daytime TV
yeah.
show, right? No, it was nighttime. That was prime time.
It used to come on at nighttime
Yeah.
on Friday nights. And JR always had a picture of his daddy
Yeah.
on the wall there. I always thought I'm gonna be like the Ewing there, and I'm gonna have a business one day. And I said I'm gonna name it Patterson something, just like Ewing Oil.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Patterson Signs.
Ah.
And that's my granddaddy. He's supposed to be more like Jock Ewing was since he, started things off. But here's a painting that I painted also years ago, back when the Cowboys was good. That's
Simon
when-
Smith. Yes, sir.
That's Emmett Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's called Vision 22. And what it is, this is him in the corner. He has a vision. I guess this one is strictly in the Bible, so where there's no vision to people perish. Right here, he's focusing, and this is where he's visualized himself playing in the Super Bowl. And this is where he realizes his goals, where he holds on to that Vince Lombardi trophy. But it all started with a vision. Here he has the vision, he's focusing in his mind. He sees himself playing right here, and then he realizes his goals here.
Wow.
Called Vision 22.
That's beautiful.
Now, this is another one that I did. This is the oil paintings. And this one is called The Guardian Angel. And it depicts a guardian angel watching over this little child as he's sleeping at night to protect him. And that's what that's all about. It come from, I done a series of art like that. It was called Black Inspirations.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you. All right, now I'm trying to see what we have over here on this wall. You have one up here. It's a digital sign. The second one. In other words, right up under that Brutal Grove, you had a digital part, which it can show almost like movies.
Yeah, like LED screen.
Yes. So we do those type of signs also. A lot of churches nowadays are moving to that. Most of them seem to want that type of sign today. And you can run it from the inside. You don't have to go out there and like put letters up and do whatever. You can do it all from the inside, and then you just tell it to go out to the sign. And you do it on the computer. You lay out what you want, then you tell it to go to the sign, and it go to the sign like that. And you can tell it how long you want it to stay on. You can tell it, when you want it cut off. You can program it. You can tell it how fast you want it to show, how slow you want it to go, like if you're putting words on it and all. And some of these signs now, you can work them from home or from anywhere. It just depends on what you want, how you want to do it. But this is a sign too that we do. I use that router paper to make these also. They're called channel letters. But anyway, we have to build this sign. We build it from scratch. A lot of times we cut out that back of that sign first. Then you cut out the face of it. Then you have to put the metal around the sides, and you have to build it pretty much. Then you put lights in the inside. But they're called channel letters.
Nice.
And this is one of them routed signs, like what we talked about before. But instead of having the letters protruding out, we cut down into the material. It's called a V card because it's cut out like a V. And this is that city seal there for the New Ellenton. And that's just something. We sometimes letter up boats too, but that's my boat there. And we put the stripes on them sometime also. We changed all this. When I bought this right here, none of this was on it. I put that on it. And then I put in loving memory of my dad, Ronald Patterson. Right, and that's another one of those digital signs there. Now that sign you can run from anywhere in the world.
Wow.
That's because that sign, most times people just run it right from their church, and that's because it's not far from the church. But this sign is over a mile, or at least about a mile away from the church.
Wow.
So that's why they told me to have it set up to where they can run it from anywhere. So as long as you have access to a computer, something like that, you can run it from wherever you're at. It works almost like a mobile phone. But anyway, this is also a bus that we redone. They had some of that already, and we redone that. And this is another picture that I painted. I got done this more for the Aiken area. I believe they call it the steeplechase or something like that.
Yeah, it was yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I was down, went to that. But I call this photo finish. Because there was racing, these was the two that came in first and second. And there was racing, I think one won by like a nose, and they call it photo finish because like you got to take a picture to see who really won. Yeah. But that's an oil painting also. And a lot of those oil paintings that I've done, I made lithographs, like limited edition pictures where you sign and number them. I have several of those.
Got it. No, this is amazing, man. This is like a museum just walking around in here, man.
Thank you.
How far away have you had to travel to
do signs?
To get contracted out?
Okay. Probably 3 or 4 hours, maybe. Really, I go as far as necessary. As long as it's worth doing. Yeah. If we talk and agree on what they need and what they're willing to pay for it, as long as the price is right, and both of us are happy, we do it. But what we believe in doing is we want to make sure it's always a win-win for both parties. Right. If it's not a win-win, then we don't do it. We want everybody to be happy. Yes.
What's up, good people? I hope you're enjoying the show. If you want to show your support, head over to DivineDedicatedClothing.com and check out our SC Power Moves merch shop. All right? Support the show. Appreciate it. All right. Man, I appreciate the tour. It's almost like a museum tour.
Okay.
Because of all the history that's on the walls, I didn't realize that you've touched so many businesses and impacted so many communities with your artwork and your signs. Because to call them signs almost almost is too simple, you know, or
Okay.
disrespectful, I guess, right?
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the business of
Okay.
sign what do you call it, like the sign industry, right?
Yes. Well, the way I got into signs is I always drew and done paintings and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And when I first got out of high school, I got a job down at Savannah Riverside. I was a painter at one time, but they told me there was a sign department, mm-hmm. and they said, Pastor, you need to get in that sign shop since you can do this type of artwork and all. We think that'll be a good thing for you to do. And so eventually I got in the sign department, and mm-hmm. I started out as an apprentice, where I come in there pretty much new at everything, and they would put you with a journeyman, okay. Somebody that's supposed to know all about it. And the journeyman would help teach the apprentice. It's like the apprentice was a student, and the journeyman was more the professional one. Yeah. And you work with them and you learn from them. And it was like a 3-year apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. And after 3 years of being apprenticed to someone or different journeymans, you're supposed to be able to produce and do the same thing they were doing. Right. And basically that's how we got started in the signing business.
So was that the Painters Union down there on 278?
Yes.
Is that the same spot you started?
Yes. We had a Painters Union. They trained painters how to be painters. And when I said painters, I'm not talking about artwork. I'm talking about painters like painting walls and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they also had a sign, people that done signs. And the sign...
Like exit signs or...
Yeah, all kinds of signs. In other words, the painters would go in and they would paint these tanks. But when they paint these tanks, before they painted them, they called in the sign writers, and we would call sign writers back then. And we would come in and look at the tanks, and the tanks might have these numbers on them. Yeah. It might have the name of it or what kind of tank that was and that type of stuff. So we'd have to go in first and do what we call, what do they call it? But anyway, mm-hmm. I forget what you call it, but you would go in and look at the tank before the painters come in and paint it, and you would write down everything it used to say. Okay. And then once they paint it, we would come in and repaint the lettering and do the signs on it. And that's pretty much how we got started with that. But again, they put you with a guy that knew signs, yeah, and that knew how to do it, and he trained you how to do it. And in the process of time, you're supposed to be able to paint that as well as he can.
Wow. So you mentioned that you were already heavy into your own artwork personally. Yes. So was that a skill you developed as a kid, or did you like?
Yes.
Or is it like a high school thing?
No, I done that. I started doing that when I was about 10 years old. Mm-hmm. My brothers could draw first. They used to draw things for me. And but that was before I was 10. And then, I just started, I used to like these wrestlers, and I went to drawing these wrestlers, and I was surprised that they come out to look like that wrestler. Yeah. And so I started drawing ever since then, drawing and painting.
You drawing like Superfly Jimmy Snippers before him?
I was drawing Mr. Wrestling #2. I got him on my wall somewhere. But Mr. Wrestling #2, I don't know if you knew it, that probably before your time.
Yeah, way before. I think I never heard of him. I never heard of Wrestling #2.
Yeah, there's a Wrestling #1 and 2.
Okay.
One of them had a white mask, and one of them had a white mask with black trim. Mm-hmm. And my brother used to like to be Wrestling #1, and I was Wrestling #2. And so we would draw them, and that's when I first found out I could draw. Yeah.
Okay, I remember, like after school, me and Lil Quentin, we'll come up in the house and we'll see some of your stuff, man. Okay. I think we used to mess around in your record collection too, man.
And what that now?
I think we used to mess around in your record collection too.
Oh, okay, that probably Jerry's.
Oh, Jerry, okay.
Yeah, he come home. Hey, who been in here? Yeah. Somebody been in here. Man, what you talking about? He's still like that now.
Hey, my bad, Jerry. That was me. That was me and Quinn. Yeah. Okay. So that you took what you learned on the job, like you mentioned earlier, and you applied it to your personal business.
Yes.
And you took your show on the road. How long did you stay out at the plant before you realized, all right, I can take this and make it my own business?
I stayed out there for, I think, about 6 years. Yeah. See, most of the guys that I knew out there, that's what we would call real sign guys, they had a business out on the side, outside of the plant. Okay. Some of them, to me, they just kind of had a job. But the real sign painters
Mhm.
had businesses that they would work at once they left there, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I was out there for about 6 years, I believe, before I was laid off.
Oh.
And when I was laid off, you know, I was looking forward to it, to be honest with you. Really, I was ready to go. I didn't want to just quit.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to it. And when they came and told me I was laid off, I was happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was good, especially at times. But it was a great thing. I think it was a great program that the union had, where they took all those young guys that, you know, and they put us with other people out there that's supposed to know the craft. I'm talking about not just sign painters and painters, but electricians,
Yeah.
pipe fitters, carpenters,
Yeah.
everything. And so if you was affiliated with one of them unions, they got the young guy and they put him with the elder guy that's supposed to know what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And each journeyman was supposed to reproduce themselves. And anything that they knew and was able to do, by the time you went through your apprenticeship, you should be able to do that same thing.
Yeah.
And after that, they would give us, we become the journeyman, then they would give us an apprentice.
Wow.
And after we finish, that apprentice that we had, if we do our job right, they're supposed to be able to do everything we done.
Mm-hmm.
And we just keep on kind of like reproducing yourself.
So that's a true meaning of steel sharpening steel, right?
Yes, that it was great.
Yeah. So what was your first? So your first role outside of the Savannah Riverside? So you were laid off and you got with those guys that were operating outside of work doing signs?
No. When I got laid off, I already had in mind what I was going to be doing. I was going to make these certain signs and sell that have your name on it, like Pattersons, the Pattersons and stuff like that.
Right.
And when I got laid off, the main thing what I did, I knew a guy that had a business, and he told me, he said, Patterson, you know, I know you do signs and all. He said, I own this property right here. He said, if you like to, he was renting or whatever, he said, I'll allow you to put your sign out here saying what you do so people know about you. So I put a sign out there that said Patterson Signs and Art, and that's how I got started. I was working for my living room at first. Yeah.
So that was your first paid gig?
Yeah, not in the first paid, because I was doing it while I was out there actually, but I started doing it more officially, you know, like business-wise, as far as like really working for myself, more so.
Yeah.
Before I was, you know, people see us doing signs at the plant.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, Patterson, I got a garage there. I need you to come over and paint something for me. I said, oh, okay, we'll do that. We love doing it anyway. So we go out there and do it, and then they pay us for it. But once I got laid off, you know, you had to do it for a living.
Yeah.
You know. So, but that's how I got started as far as really opening my own business. I basically set up a sign. That's why I believe in them. I set up a sign. Those people would pass by going to and from work, and then they would call me.
Wow.
And
So the sign was the sign to come get the sign if you wanted a sign.
Yes, it's let us know. You know, if you want a sign,
Yeah.
you know, Patterson Signs, that we do signs pretty much, and they would call me from there, and that's how we got started.
Okay, so have you always been here? So like, when did you? I get wait. I don't want to get too far ahead because I know a lot of people want to.
Okay.
A lot of people are interested in this.
Okay.
So what year was that once you left and
Wow.
started working for yourself?
I'm not sure.
Was it in the 80s?
I know this. I went to work at Savannah Riverside probably in about 88.
Okay.
And I was out there for about 6 years. Okay. So, but after that, I began to just work out of my home. And after a period of time, I bought me one of these things. They used to have these sales out to the plant, and they would sell these things. We used to call them a shack, but they're like these aluminum buildings.
Yeah.
After a period of time, I bought one of them aluminum buildings and started to work out of that from home. And then after a period of time from that, I bought me I rented a building across the street here. It was a small building, and it didn't, you know, it was very reasonable. And I worked out of that for about 5 years. And right across the street. Miss Sheila Carter, she used to own that, right next to the cleaners, what used to be the cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to rent one of them buildings from her.
Okay.
And then it got to be too small. And I seen this across the street. I didn't want to go too far because I wanted my customers to be able to fire me.
Yeah.
And anyway, I looked over at this building here, and we come over and looked at it, and then I talked to the people about buying this, and they sold it to me.
So this is an old gas station?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I guess that was before your time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember it being a gas station. I remember it being what used to look like a gas station.
Yeah,
Until you
okay.
moved in over here.
Yeah. Used to be, they used to call it Creoles. You could come here and buy fried chicken and all that type of stuff. But it was a gas station too.
I kind of do remember the name Creoles.
Yes. It used to be a Creole. They come in here and buy chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what year did you move in?
In here?
In here.
I bought this on March the 1st, about 18 years ago. That's the day we signed the papers for me to buy this. And I've been here at least 18 years now, I believe.
So you had your 18-year shop-anniversary, I guess.
Yes, pretty much. That's right. I remember setting it up as we're gonna do this, and I was planning on paying for this in 15 years, and that was about 3 years ago that we paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's I count back to about 18 years since we've been here. Boy, it's flew by. Back when I first started, like this stuff we see today, back when I first started, like we were walking through looking at these equipment, how this equipment makes stuff and all that.
Yeah.
When I first done this, you didn't have this type of equipment. You had to do this by hand.
Right?
Yeah. Now we loved that. The real sign painters, to me, we loved it. But as we was out there for years, eventually they come out with this machine that actually made letters.
Yeah. You
told it what to do, and that it printed right out. We didn't like that. We looked at that, we said, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah. like when you look at AI today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so you built everything from word of mouth. You never did any type of, your sign was your advertisement.
Yes.
In word of mouth.
Yes.
And just, I guess, just producing good work that people enjoy. Because I see a lot of different sign companies around the area. Like, do you ever ride by somebody else's sign and look at it like, man, that ain't me, but
yeah. See, especially if we know each other, there are a lot of signs, like the sign guys that I come up with, that we work together at Savannah River site, you will begin to recognize his type of work.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it, you would know Phil Huggins did this.
Okay.
And you know Larry Shirley did this.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll know Larry Fulmer did this.
Yeah.
You just knew their style.
Right.
And you look at it, now most people would look at it and it probably all look the same to them.
Yeah.
But a sign person, you recognize them, especially if you work with them. Yeah. But we loved it. And so, a lot of signs we see passing down the road, you can recognize that sign and you know who made it. They have a certain type of style to their work.
Do you ever just ride down, especially whiskey, in other places around the area? You was like, man, that's me.
Yeah.
Or you just started to even ignore it. Like,
Yeah.
All right, we're about to take a ride with Patterson to a location, fresh location. How many on this highway have you done?
Oh, many of them. That one right there.
This one, the City Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then this one over there for the
Storage.
Then that one for Mr. Bush. Then there's other one with Bush back here, and this one with Bush. Then these over here.
God.
Brenda's balloons.
Great goodness.
I've done one of those right there for the Kelly guy, Kelly King. I believe his name.
This the All-American company right here?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Then I've done this here for Ashley. Ashley's on Main.
Yeah. That's nice.
And then all those there too. And then that one over here.
Oh, you got a monopoly on it, man.
And then this one right here where we're going. Most times I used to didn't do that, but years ago, a while back, I rode down the road and I said, I want to see how many signs I've done here. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it, wow. You know, I said, I done a lot of these signs.
How long did it take to get to 100? Was like while you was riding around county?
Now, I didn't count that. I started in New Ellenton, and I was riding out. I thought, that sign, that. That's what I didn't do, that sign. Yeah, go to this, done that. And I was amazed at that, but I wasn't conscious of that at one time. Mm-hmm. I also wasn't conscious of how long I've been doing this. You know, if I told you how long I've been doing this, it'd make me seem like an old man.
And you started at the plant in '88.
Yeah.
That's decades of work, man. That's a legacy that should be. Well, I'm celebrating it because I wanted to. That's why I wanted you to come on the show.
Okay.
I think it's a cause for celebration. I didn't know that it was going to be this big. Like this, your body of work is so big. You know.
Yeah.
Like so you were able to support yourself.
Oh yeah.
Straight out of.
Yeah, it was tight. It was tight in the beginning, you know, and I used to be concerned about it. And but God always provided for me no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to work. Things was tight, and I remember I met another person that done signs over in Augusta, and I went and showed him my portfolio. And he seen the work I done. Oh yeah, I can use you right away. Yeah. I said, okay. So I painted this. There's a big, like a mural on this building, big sign really. And he said, you know, he was going to give me at least half of it. But I had no idea what he charged for that. I knew that should have cost thousands of dollars.
Right.
But when he was finished, he gave me a little under $200. And the other guy. The guy that owned the building, whose business it was, he came out and talked to me. Yeah. And he told me, he said, really? He said, that guy came by about 6 months earlier. Mm-hmm. And he said, Patterson, obviously, whoever it is that hired you to do this, he said, I hired him to do this over 6 months ago. He said, I think what happened, he needed money so bad that he just told me that he'd do it for $400. And he says, so if he pay you $200, he said, that's really half. He said, he was like desperate. He said, but I gave him that money to have, and I ain't never seen him again till now. He said, I don't see him now. I see you out here doing it. Yeah. And I done that, but he paid me that. And I got up early in the morning, about like I was going to work at the plant. Mm-hmm. And I worked on that for about a week. And he gave me this few little dollars. I was like, we can't do this no more. Yeah. But
that's understandable.
I went into this church. And the guy that was my pastor began to prophesy to me. He said, Brother Patterson, he said, the Lord said the devil sought you out for permission to put pressure on your life to try to make you break under the pressure. He said, but the Lord said, be not weary in well doing. You're going to reap in due season if you faint not. And he said, the Lord is going to bless you through seeds you've sown in the past. And he began to say to me, about how much money I was gonna make through my hands, and anyway, he was telling me about my business and all, and I had many prophecies about that, and God really came through for me with that, and at the very kind of like end, I'll say that where I was struggling, he said, "But Patterson, you didn't close your business down, did you?" Because I think I went back to the plant for a while. Okay, and he said, because here I see somebody giving you a key to your own place. Wow. And anyway, that happened. And I still, you know, struggle. We call it bootstrapping. You know, you do whatever and do whatever to get enough money to do your job. And then before they pay you, you know, they give you enough money to get started on the job. You know, we require like half up front. We go buy the material with that. And then once we get that, you know, we finish, then they pay the balance. But we had to do that for a while. And but at the end, a man of God said, Brother Patterson, I know normally, you know, you ask you how your business going and all that. And he said, and you tell him, well, just keep praying. Everything going okay, but keep praying. He said, well, the Lord said the day is upon you that you never have to pray that again. He said, the day is upon you where you have so much work that you won't be able to do it all yourself. He said, you'll have a problem keeping up with it. And that, he said, you're gonna have to hire people. And that's the way we at today. It's pretty much about impossible for me to be able to keep up doing what all that needs to be done now. It's like I'm sometimes months behind, and I had to tell people, I'm gonna do that sign for you, but that sign you want now, I can get to it. I can have it done for in about 2 months from now. But I've been backed up now for, quite a while. In fact, I like knowing that it's backed up. See, before, you're praying that something come through for you. And then it come through at the last minute. You jump right on and go get it done.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So do you have, so your workload is months and months out. So do you have to contract out help, or do you? How do you get your help? I always see you by yourself.
Most of the time, I do it all myself. Okay. Now, I need to get people to train them how to do certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do all that myself.
Right.
But to a degree, that's been challenging. Okay. Because some people, I try to train them to do certain things, and by the time they finish, I could have done it all myself, and that's been challenging.
Yeah.
But the people that I know that's been the best help to me, my brothers has been a big help to me. Some of the people that have been the best help for me is people that already knew how to do this.
Okay.
Like somebody I worked with at the plant, and they would come help me on the side. All I had to do was let them know what they need to do, and it'll be done. But other than that, it's been challenging. But I like the fact that a friend of mine named Larry Fulmer. All I do, he come in and say, Patterson, what we need to do? He take it, got it. And and he more than pays for himself.
Okay.
And that's what we need. If they ain't pay for themselves, I'm better off without them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Some seem that like I got this big thing of money stored up, and whether they produce anything or not, I just pay them.
Damn.
I want to be able to pay people based upon what they produce. You understand? If I got to pay them this many hundreds of dollars to be with me each week, the least they can do is at least make that.
Right.
If they don't make that, I'm just better off without them.
So has technology, the advancement of technology over the years, has it sped up the work or made the work easier, or is it a learning curve?
It made it easier. See, like I said earlier, when I worked at the plant, we all had our easels set up, these desks, and we used to paint that stuff by hand. And when we seen them come out with this equipment that knew how to do it, we didn't like that. We said, oh man, we out of here now. We ain't in the clique. We headed out. And I pretty much never really, in my opinion, been in the clique with people. So, I didn't do certain things. Like trying to kiss up with people to do whatever. Yeah. So I knew when layoff time comes, if you ain't in the buddy system,
you're gonna be on the chopping block.
So, but the thing about it, when I left there, things was changing. I still used to do things by hand, but things was changing. But I began to change with the change, where I could begin to buy these equipment that knew how to produce these signs too. Yeah. At one time, I was computer illiterate, but I learned that the computer. I learned the different programs that we needed to do what we do, and then it's a great thing to have them machines, right? Because they're reliable. Right. See, to me, I don't mean nothing bad about it, but they're more reliable than people. Okay. You see, that's right. I know that once I buy that machine, it's there every day. That's right. And it's there on time. Yeah. And they won't quit and leave for $1 a raise.
Yeah, and they're not gonna talk bad about you behind your back.
Yeah. So I win all the way. Yeah. So that's why I got trucks. I used to get out there and we all get up there trying to lift 1, 2, 3. So I push the big sign up, And I said, man, this is enough of this. I told my dad, I'm gonna buy me a truck.
Don't let me forget about asking about this truck. I want to ask you about learning the new programs, or learning the new technology to produce signs faster or more efficient. Like, how did you go back to school, or did you find a course online, or did you just how did you find out about
everything I've done, for the most part, I just studied on my own. Okay. Even like being an artist, I never went to no art school to do that. I just done it. and it just always worked out. The guy that's my pastor and mentor, he told me he's an artist. He went to school, and he said they told him, the professor told him and the rest of the class, don't think I can teach y'all how to do that. He said, this guy got a gift, I think he says called static awareness, where he's got a gift to be able to do this, but it's not something I can teach.
Right.
And that seemed to be the same gift. But I didn't, whatever, even electrical work, 'cause I do a lot of electrical work now, whatever too, but I didn't go to no school to learn that. I mean, if you have to, you get your book and read and tell you how to do it, or you get somebody like a mentor.
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy named Ashley Foreman when I was in high school. And to me, he looked like he knew something, everything. He knew about plumbing. He knew something about.
My dad Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley.
Junior?
Not Junior, his dad.
His dad? Okay.
Yeah, Junior,
Big
he was
Ash.
a little fella by then. Yeah, but I worked with his dad, and one thing that his dad had said to me, and I always remember that, and that I believe it to be the truth. He said, Ron, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, when engineers made things, he said, first of all, most people are very simple-minded, very simple, very simple. He said, when engineers made things, they created the way even that simple mind can do it. He said, so for the most part, whatever it is, you can handle it.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah, I actually like to hear Ash break stuff down.
Little Ash?
Big Ash.
Oh, Big
I used to
Ash,
work
okay.
down there. That was one of my first jobs. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Ash's Furniture. That was one of my first jobs.
That was one of my first ones.
Yeah, Big Ash used to break stuff down to me, man.
I like Ash.
He's still around? Is Big Ash still?
He come around some. He's retired and gave it over to his son pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, but me and Ash, we used to work together, and sometimes we work all night.
Mm-hmm.
And he tell me now, he said, him and his wife be driving down the road, and he see somebody out there working. He said, that's got to be wrong. He said, I don't got him like that, But that was it. We go to work, and, at any time, we have they necessarily was 9 to 5.
Uh-huh.
We do whatever, whenever, just to do what we need to get done.
Okay.
That's how we still pretty much do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just learned different things. You just learn it on your own, or you work with somebody that knew stuff about that. And I think if you work with somebody that know about that, anything, like if he's a brick mason, you work with him, to me, in the process of time, you ought to be able to do that brick mason work.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I got another question.
Okay.
The trucks.
Okay.
Like, how many big trucks have you had? Because I know you had 3 of them out there at one time, right?
Yeah, I still have 3 of them. Somebody, they pretty much renting it out right now. I rent it out. I mean, they renting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to be just sitting there. I have 2 bucket trucks. I got the 2 bucket trucks for backup. If one go down, I want the other one, I don't want to have to stop.
Yeah. So they all run?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they all run. Now, something happened to one, and that one's just getting fixed. But yeah, the thing is, I wanted to where if one go down, I don't have to stop. I just get it and keep going. What I did, I liked one of them better than the other one because everything was going. I just drove it all the time, and I didn't try the other one enough. Uh-huh. And when something happened to the second one, the first one, when I got in the second one, it had set too long. And got some bad gas or something. And that's what happened to it.
Okay.
But those trucks helped me tremendously. I used to not have them trucks. I used to just climb up there high up, put a rope on something down there, on a sign down there, and pull it up in the air like this and put it up. And one day a guy rode by that worked with Al Mixon over at Mixon Signs.
Okay.
And he said, Patterson, he said, I seen you hanging off that sign, man. He said, I felt for you. He said, I need to get with my boss. He said, I believe he got a truck. He'll make it to you for a good deal. And that's what I did. I got with him and bought one of his trucks. Okay.
So what type of investment is that? Like putting that, I guess a truck like that would cost like.
They can cost a lot. but and the insurance can cost even more. But he made that to me for a real good deal. I thought it was reasonable. And he had a second one there.
Yeah.
And that second one, he almost about gave that to me because he said, Patterson, I rented this out to some Mexicans, and it was like a twin. Cause it's a twin to the first one. He said, they took it off. It ain't worked since.
Oh, man.
He said it wouldn't go back in the air. He said, so he thought the bucket, it wouldn't go back. He said, man, you know, I bought that second one for almost nothing, little nothing, not over a couple of thousand.
Wow.
And he said, you can just take that for parts. I said, yes, sir, I'll take it. And then I got out there and went to messing with the wires and looked over at the other truck, see. Now, look at the one truck and see how the wire was and put the other and follow that. And that's why I hit the button. It says, I said, yes, sir, we're in business. So it started working. We used that for a backup.
Okay. Wow. Oh, so.
And the other truck is a boom truck. It's a crane truck. It's used to lift the signs.
Okay.
So what it is, a lot of times you need two. You need the one that'll lift the sign, place it wherever you want it and hold it there. And then you get in the bucket truck to go up there and do whatever you need to do to it, like fasten it to the building or something like that.
Man, and you operate both trucks by yourself?
A lot of times. It's best. The Bible said two better than one, but it depends on the two.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably best if you have a second person.
Right.
Yeah.
Like.
But the thing is, I need that second person to show up on time.
Right.
If he don't show up on time, by the time he get there, I'm gone. And I just get somebody else or do it myself.
Yeah.
But I need him to be reliable.
Yeah, the show don't stop. You know?
Yeah, it can't stop. You got to keep it going. And that's the thing, too. That's why I buy these machines again. Whether that person is there or not, I might have had to have that person to help me hold that. But with that truck, it'll hold it.
Yeah.
And it makes it where I don't need that person.
That's right, man. Investing back into the business to get stuff done more efficiently. So how did you learn the business of science? Because like me, like understanding, like making my creative abilities, taking my creative abilities and turning into a business and maintaining the business, it's two different things.
Okay, yeah.
See, I can excel at creativity, but as far as like having a business mind and being able to monetize it, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
How did you get into the business? How did you develop your business sense to stay in business for decades?
It's a couple different ways.
Yeah.
One of the ways, I had a mentor some of the times, and that's how I learned how to sell too. The guy was my pastor mentor. When I first started doing a lot of selling artwork, this Pastor Bush, he would come by, Pastor Fines with you. He said, but Pastor, look here. Anytime it's open for me, it's open for you. He said, somebody called me and want me to come down there and have an art show. He said, get your art, man. Let's get your art with it. Let's bring it on. And we'd go out there and he'd get up there and he'd sell it. And to me, you know, he was a good salesman to me.
Yeah.
And I just watched how he done some of it and it just kind of like rub off on you. And then I'd go do it and they buy it the same way they were buying it when he was going over it. But a lot of that, even when we went, when I first started doing limited edition prints, I wasn't familiar with that. But Pastor Bush came and said, Pastor, let's ride down here and check this place. I painted this picture here and I'm taking down there and have some limited edition prints. And I'd go with him. And when he get his limited edition prints made, then I paint mine and I take mine down and get my limited edition prints made. And you just really do the same thing. It's really pretty much the same way we did with apprenticeship at the work down there.
Yeah.
It's the same way it happens in ministry too. You know, you hang with the elder minister and you should learn what the other minister and be able to go on from there. That's really what's supposed to happen. Right. But the other thing I did is I read a book one time. And it was about this guy, they call him Robert, I don't say his name right, it's like the Kiyosaki or something like that. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, I heard
You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I learned when I was listening to him, I read lots of business books. And see, this is one of the key things that I learned from him. He wrote a book and it was the best-selling author. He became one of the best-selling authors.
Yeah.
And in his book, this lady, she loved writing. And she wanted to learn from him. She asked him, what kind of advice would you give me so I can become a best-selling author like you?
Yeah.
And he told her, what you need to do is study selling. And she said she don't like selling. And she didn't want to do that. She said, I like writing. And he said, yeah, I'm telling you now, you asked what advice I can give you.
That's right.
I'm telling you now, study selling.
Okay.
She said, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. He said, well, you're a best-selling. He said, you're right. I am the best-selling author, but I'm not the best author.
Okay.
But I learned how to sell. And to me, that stood out to me because I always heard about these starving artists.
Right.
They're starving artists because they're good at art, but don't know how to sell. But the reality of the matter is, if you're going to be successful, you better learn how to sell.
Learn how to sell.
Yeah. And there are many things you can read and learn about selling, you know. It's foolish, really, not to, if you're going to be in business and don't study selling.
That's
so
right.
To me, you got to study selling, you got to study people skills, you got to do all that. It's not just, it's like I read to this too. They said most all of us know how to cook a better hamburger than we get down at McDonald's.
Yes, right.
But McDonald's, they're not broke.
That's right.
Most people can cook better and struggle every day. But it was all about marketing. So to me, you need to market yourself. And you need to know how to sell. Everything deals with selling, for what I'm concerned.
That's right.
So, but to me, that's a key thing there.
Okay. That is a major key, man. It's just, people spend major money on marketing. I'm a digital marketer by trade. You know, that's what pay my bills. But it's huge, man. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars a day these companies are spending on their advertisement and trying to get people in seats or in the building or sign up for courses or anything like that.
I know a guy, I don't even think, now I'm not sure about this, but I don't even think he know how to build signs. Okay. But he know how to sell them. But what happened, I think he have a web page. At least this how it seemed to me.
Yeah.
He called me up one day and he said he'll pay me $3,000 to install a sign for him. And he said, I'll give you $300 now if you just go talk to the pastor over at the church where I want this installed at. Yeah. I said, okay, we'll do that. And they sent me the sign here. And they sent me two parts, a digital part and the other part. Yeah. I don't think he touched any of it. But they seen that sign they wanted. He had it built and he had it sent it to me and he had me to install it. But he never touched it. He charged $4,000 for installing it. He paid me $3,000. He made he made $1,000. He ain't done nothing with that. Wow. So all he did really was coordinate this.
Right.
And he probably made more money than the person that made that sign and me when I installed it. He didn't do anything, but it's all about selling. You know? So selling makes a big difference.
That's a major key. He just kind of he contracted out the information to you to get it done. Man. I do have another question.
Okay.
How many signs do you think you've done in your entire career?
I have no idea. I tell you what, it was funny to me years ago. Well, I done the sign for this person, and I had this young lady come in and she told me that she wanted me to do a sign for her. She showed me the sign. And I looked at that sign. I thought that whoever done that, they done an outstanding job. And I said, I want to tell her, ma'am, what you need to do is take that back. That's what you're trying to tell me to do. You need to take that back to that person that done that sign. They done your outstanding job there. Yeah. And she told me, you done this sign. And I said, what? she said, you done this sign for my sister. And then I remembered it. I said, let me see that thing again. And then I looked at it and then it came back to me and I knew what to do to make that sign.
Okay, so did she wanted a duplicate or
no, she wanted an updated one.
Okay.
It was like, it's really that same sign, you know, it's over that phone, there's a display of that. Yeah, they use that at they have something where they go out and, I think they have an app that they made, and they would go out and they show what that app looked like on that phone and all. But that is a display, but I like that display they had, but I didn't know that I made that. But you know, it's so many, and I have people come in sometime and tell me that, you know, I didn't. Most of them I can kind of remember their faces somewhere, but some of them I done forgot. It's been
So it's been thousands of signs. Are you in the thousands or 100? I think you're in the thousands.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
All right. Well, this might be an easier question.
Okay.
How many signs do you do per year? Maybe that's a little bit more easier to put a number on that.
I don't know. I have an idea. I don't just have an idea. I know how much. I'm not gonna say it though. But I know how much.
Yeah.
How much money is made each year from this.
That's right.
But I don't know how many signs I've done.
Okay.
I didn't think about that actually. I know.
You want to put the number out there?
No.
Is it bigger than 6 figures?
I can't say how much.
Okay.
I'm not where I like to be at yet, though. I can tell you that.
Right.
Like I mentioned, that man of God was prophesying to me.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he was accurate on what he'd been saying. And the last thing, one of the things I remember him mentioning to me, he said, the Lord said, Ronald Patterson, he said, we prophesied this to you in times past.
Mm-hmm.
He said, about the wealth you're going to come into. Now, I'm certainly not going to speak against that. But anyway, he says, the Lord says you shall achieve so much so that your mind can't even conceive it.
Wow.
I'm not at that place. I'll let her get there though.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he said, you know.
Man, I didn't compliment you on your suit earlier. Or did I? That's a nice suit, man.
Okay, well, thank you.
I should have, if I'd have known, I thought you was going to be in your work gear.
Okay, yeah.
I would have dressed up too, man.
It's just that I was mentioning earlier, I never changed.
That's
you know,
nice.
I just, you know, it's going to be about an hour later. I think I could have changed, but I didn't rush and do that.
So I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
So have you ever tried like a new technique or like something new, like a new sign or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or a new type of equipment that didn't work and kind of failed?
Yeah, I can tell you this. This is what has happened. And I know a friend of mine, he's done this also.
Mm-hmm.
It's really all a learning process. And what I've done, I've attempted to do like drawings, or it may be a painting, and I may have made a mistake, okay? But, you know, or you might have to drop something and you scrape something or you do something, it's damaged.
Yeah.
And whatever the case is, it's a mistake. And what it is, I've seen that mistake and I say, well, what can I do to make that where, you know, I don't have to redo this? And it may be that something dropped and hit the thing right here.
Yeah.
And so anyway, in me thinking about it, it may come in my mind that what I can do is put a little thing, like a little diamond there. You might buy it and you sit one there, and then you might take another and sit over on the other side to balance it out.
Yeah.
And it's there, and it's only there because you put that there to hide your mistake that you made.
Mm-hmm.
And normally what happens is those people come and they like that. They like that more than they like that. Oh, I want that one with that little, I want that one with that little thing like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. I want this one right here because it's more unique.
Right.
And they didn't have no idea. That's just, I put that there because there was a mistake made.
So,
and then you can start doing it. You know, people say, whenever you make another one, now, my plane, I won't want this on it like that.
Yeah.
And so it ends up working out.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was just an accident, a mistake.
So is it pressure to be perfect every time? Because you're dealing with materials like
I'm gonna tell you
look at
this.
it looks like it's costly to.
It is costly. Now, this is the thing. It was a lot of pressure on earlier.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have two nickels to strut together. When I got laid off, my bank account was balancing 00. And I done run out of all my unemployment. So what happened is you don't have room for a mistake, and that put pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you say, and mistakes happen. That's just part of it, really.
That's right.
But it made it where you being overly careful, and even being overly careful made it where you something mess up easier. But things got better when you can afford to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? If you start to get it where even if this go bad, at least I got enough money in the bank. I got something where I can go. You know, I can pay to get another whatever you're doing it on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get another
More
board,
material.
more material. But before,
Mm-hmm.
you praying to God that you don't mess up. You know.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds or technical, but like, do you experience defective materials? Like, if you order material,
Oh yeah.
and it come in defective, is it an
Yeah.
RMA process you got to follow? Or you just got to bite the bullet in
No,
this
no.
industry?
Most of the people that I know and deal with, they good with that. If it come in, you say, hey, it came in damaged. Okay, well, we'll take care of that. They just good with that. And I'll tell you something else that's good too. Most of the people that I know in the sign business, we're not enemies. You know.
Nice.
That's
nice. That's nice to know. I thought it was like a sign war going on.
No. I think there's plenty of sign work for them to do, and there's plenty of sign work for me to do.
Right.
And we're not enemies. I knew one guy that kind of acted a little different, but most of the guys I work with, if they need something from me, they can come get it. If I need something from them, I can go get it. And say, hey, I'm running out of this right here. You got this from? Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to drop it off, or you can come out and get it? And that's how it has been with most of the people, except for one. Well, most of the people that I dealt with.
You gonna put Superstar on?
Yeah, well, that would have been good for the superstar to have to deal with him. But yeah, he acted up. That guy acts up. You know, he think you a threat to him.
Yeah.
But most of the people act good. And I tell you something else too.
Mm-hmm.
See, like you mentioned earlier, how did I learn something about the business part of this? One thing that I learned in this business that I'm in now, it probably works like this with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, with many different businesses. Then the people, see, I was ignorant of what signs cost. I used to do these signs, and when I did the signs, I was doing it for a little or nothing, I guess, when it come down to it.
Trying to be the cheapest.
But I thought, well, what happened? I didn't know what it was worth. I thought, well, that's, I done this. I enjoyed myself doing it, and I got a job. I'm just doing this on the side. I done this, for $100.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the young ladies that had their own sign company, she came to work out there one day, and we were talking, and I mentioned it, or either she asked me, and I told her that I done that for $100. She said, what? $100? She don't know. What I need to do, she said, I'm gonna bring you my price list so you'll know what these signs is worth.
Wow.
And she said, and she brought it there, and that sign that I'd done for for $100, it cost around $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted me to know that. And most people that I know that's in the sign business, they want you to know, because they don't want you to do it too cheap.
The price to drop.
Yeah, and you want to do it at a good. See, we want it to be a fair price.
Yeah.
To me, you want it to be a win-win for you and the customer. If it's not a win-win for everybody, I think it's best not to do it.
That's right.
But so they want you to know, because they don't want you to hurt the sign business, and I don't want to hurt it.
That's right.
I prefer not to do the sign if the person not going to be willing to pay a fair price.
Yeah, that makes sense, because someone from out of town can pull up and start to try to price gouge the area.
Yes.
Like how would that work? Like somebody new to the industry came into the Aiken Augusta area, and it's like, we just gonna do all signs for $100.
Yeah.
Like,
they probably wouldn't make it. When I say it wouldn't make it, the problem is the material costs plenty itself. Okay. I certainly wouldn't try to lower my price to meet his.
The quality gonna be different.
Yes, it's got to be, or something is missing somewhere.
Yeah.
And most of the people that I know is in the sign business, it's sure that they're professionals.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you want a professional to do the work, you need to be prepared to pay a professional price.
That's right.
And
you're talking about 2 decades or 2 decades, 3 decades.
It's 3 now. But yeah, and sometimes you run into friends. They want to be a good friend, but if they're a good friend, they ought to be willing to pay a fair price.
That's right.
Other than that, what kind of friend are you, brother? You want to get over on?
You want to get over on your friend.
So yeah, you don't have a problem with going down the street to pay such and such, but because, and sometimes they call you black. They get a black girl say, you black like me. Well, what they got to do with it? I need to be able to make a living just like anybody else.
That's right.
That's right. And I believe again, everybody needs to win in it. Some things people want you to do it so cheap, you better off just the rest instead of doing that.
Yeah. But that's something that our community really, really does deal with, like far as being an entrepreneur. But you stood the test of time, and you've been navigating through all of that throughout the years, and throughout your 3-decade experience, what was your craziest moment in this industry? Like maybe your most memorable moment, or your something that like a job that stood out. Like
a job that stood out.
Can you think of one?
A job that stood out.
Yeah. Or maybe even one that you enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Really, most of them I enjoy. Some of them is just a sign, but I tell you one I really enjoyed. With that one you see over there, that Mox.
Mox, yeah.
That's something that I did out at the Savannah River site.
Okay.
My brother and a couple more people, they worked with me on that job, and we changed what that whole building looked like. You have no idea, and that was probably one of the biggest projects I'd ever done. And the people that we worked with, it was it was the Marks department, but they were good people to work with. And they said, Patterson, because they called me kind of at the last minute, and they said, if you get that here, we'll help get it installed.
Yeah. And
they were good to work with. And they didn't have a problem with paying you either.
That's always nice.
In fact, it's really amazing to me. One time I told them a price. They said, they said, you're a little low on the installing. I said, okay, well, we're doubling. He said, well, maybe not doubling. I said, okay, what's that? He said, that's
a little bump up.
That sounds good there, But I love, and sometimes I run into people, they're good when you do this.
Yeah.
And when you run into certain people, they say, look, I'm very picky. I'm like this right here, such and such. So make sure you charge me for that. They said, make sure. I don't have a problem with paying.
Okay.
Because I know I'm picky, such and such. But, and I'll tell you something else too. Most of the time, the people that want something for almost nothing, they're the most pickiest people there is.
Yeah.
It's not worth working for them.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But most people that's just foul people, they do that, and they, you do, we just love it, and they don't have no problem with paying.
Mm-hmm.
But if people, you tell them the price, can you do a little less than that? Come on, man, help a brother out. Look out for me. Those people are normally a big problem.
Yeah.
Normally it's better if you don't deal with them at all.
Yeah.
You let them go on, you'd be better off.
So I noticed that you have the Mitchell Center up here. So do you get contracted out for like a whole shopping center? Like a shopping center is built, they hire you to do the main sign.
Yeah.
And then that sign is, of course, is going to bring more business.
Yeah. Sometimes we do the main sign, and then the people that's renting from them, they pay for their individual signs. Normally that's how that works.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in them.
No wonder you lost count because.
Yeah.
See,
a lot of times, and this is good too, we may need to do this in the city of New Orleans, but a lot of times what happens is in certain cities, off certain plazas, they don't allow they don't allow the tenants to just get anything. Mm-hmm. They have to meet a certain standard.
Yeah.
And they want to look at it, they want to see what it's going to look like, and if it don't look up to par, if not, you can't put that there. And some of the people in the shopping center say, as sure as you're going to be here, this is the quality sign you gotta have.
That's right.
If you're gonna be in this shopping center, you gotta have a channel letter sign. Now we know that sign may cost you $3,000, but if you don't have $3,000 for it, you can't be in this shopping center.
That's right.
You know, but some of them, you know, the sign is busted up. You can look into it right now.
Yeah, letters.
Yeah, I'm saying you can right here.
Yeah.
You can go right up the street there,
Mm-hmm.
and you look straight in. Some of them sign the face is about to fall out.
That's right.
And in many places you wouldn't be able to put that sign up there. It shouldn't. It's dangerous too, you know.
Mm.
But you know, it can just make it not look good. But in a lot of places you have to do what they want you to do, you know, and that's not always bad.
So after decades of being in business, when you started, not in 1988, but when you started a little bit after you went out on your own, did you envision that this would be where you're at today, like abundance of work, like behind the 8 ball with, ahead in, you know, jobs?
Yeah, I envision this. It's like a slow process. In my mind, I remember painting on people's doors out there sweating. It's hot. You're doing whatever to survive, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've done things definitely too cheap. But the bottom line is I never wanted to ruin my credit. So, you know, I would do whatever it took to make the money, to get the money to pay for bills that I had.
Yeah.
And but you know, I would see in my mind, I think it was the Lord showing me that. And it's like a day in your future, this is how it will be. And I would visualize that.
Yeah.
And I have told people what I've seen, but sometimes you have to be careful what you tell people you see.
That's right.
It's kind of like Joseph. Joseph told his brothers what they seen in the Bible. And they sold him into slavery because of what they seen. But I always foreseen certain things, you know, it just seemed like it was taking forever to get there. It's slow, you know, but it's I mean, it worked. You know,
Yeah.
I think you end up being made the better. But
Right.
yeah.
So your impact on the community. How do you gauge your impact on the community? Do you think you've had a positive impact on this community, in Aiken?
You know, a lot of times I don't really think about that. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I haven't had a,
I think it's huge. It's like you was just riding around with
Yeah.
that. I impacted that business. Look at
Yeah, you know,
wall, man. This is
see, the problem is I don't be, in a way, it's almost like I'm not conscious of that. And I know I talked to a friend of mine, he said, they swear you's a millionaire. Oh, they swear. I said, is that right? He said, oh yeah, they swear that. I said, well, you know, I'm sure not gonna speak against it, you know. I said, I don't know what people think, but I'm just really trying to focus on doing what I think I'm supposed to do. But I don't have any idea. Like if a person feel like I've had certain type of impact on them, the only way I know that is they happen to tell me that, you know. But
I think you've had a huge impact out here. Just to be, because you would be out of business if
that's
the impact wasn't positive. You know?
Yes.
And your name has always been good.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
It's always been A1.
I appreciate
Ever since I was a little fella.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Sometimes, you know, I hear people mention certain things to me. And there's one guy used to work with me. You know, you might know him. His name was Fault. He was Prentice Fault. He worked with your dad and with the city son.
Okay.
And he tickled me. He come in here and he tell me something that what he was telling me is he would go some places and he'd tell them, you know, I worked out there for Patterson, as if that carries some weight.
Yes.
I said, Paul, what are you talking about? I said, as if that means something. You don't need to tell them who my name is, if that gonna mean something. I don't mean anything.
He said, with Patterson.
You say what you want to say. He said, I've been using it for a while. It works for me.
That's right.
But if that's the truth, you know, I don't be conscious of that. I have no idea of that. He said, yeah.
All right.
He tickled me with that. Yeah, I tell her. I work for Patterson like that's mean something.
All right. So last question.
Okay.
What advice would you give someone that's up and coming, that a young artist that wants to get into the sign business or establish himself as a, selling works of art, I guess.
In the sign business or art.
Yeah. Start with sign.
In signs?
Yeah.
What kind of advice I would give him if he wants to start a sign business?
Yes, if he wants to get started. He's already an artist. He's already, he has his creativity, but he doesn't know how to start, like that first step to get into the sign business.
Okay, I'm gonna see what I'll say here. Cause there were people used to tell me, if I had that talent you had, I sure wouldn't be out here. Well, I didn't know what. I was just like, well, what would you do?
I hate when people tell me that.
Yeah, I think that because I hear people keep saying, and it's like what they want to do. They want to do it, but they won't do it.
They won't do it.
I have a family member of mine always keep saying what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I would tell him just start. You need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to listen to these books, audio books and all, and it would keep saying, just start, just start, just start. And I didn't know why they would say that. I thought they have a problem with people just starting. Mm-hmm. And then I run into people, and that's what they would say. They would be telling me things that what they would like to do. Yeah. But I talked to them 2 years later.
They still tell you the same story.
5 years later, they still talking about, I was like, my goodness, you ain't done nothing yet.
Yeah, it just sounds good to talk about it.
Yeah, what you need to do it, do it. They're scared. Mm-hmm. They're scared they're going to mess up. They're scared they're going to fail. Mm-hmm. But to me, the only real way you fail is you don't try.
You don't try.
I don't think you can lose if you just go ahead and do something. And it's right here. Whatever mistakes you make, if you're going to stay in business, it'll make you change. Wow. It's just like it's right here. Even if you start doing stuff for people too cheap, not enough, whatever, well, that'll put you out of business.
That's right.
But in order to stay in business, you got to change. You got to change and you got to charge them people what you need to be charging them, whether you want to or not. You can't do it for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So the bottom line is, whatever you fail in, it just show you what kind of change you need to make. You got to make that change and go with that. And you run into something else you kind of feel that the area you failed in, that just show you what you can't do no more. Don't do this no more. Sometimes you may have people, lots of different things. I wasn't going to say one thing. They might think, oh, he's talking about me. But again, whatever you fail trying to do, that just show you, don't approach it that way. Find another way. But this is reality. There's always a way to get it done, no matter what it is. Right. It just, if you don't work one way, do it another way. And a lot of times you just think about it long enough, it'll come to you how you do it. Mm-hmm. But the main thing, you just can't be scared.
That's right.
You just can't be scared. You got to be willing to do it, no matter what.
That's right. That's great advice. Just start.
Start. You start somewhere, no matter what.
That's right.
Everybody, I believe, when they first started doing something, they didn't know it too well. And you don't have to be perfect at it. That's something I was studying one time, I read it too. It said, a lot of people wait until they get something down to be perfect. Now,
it's waiting for a very, very, very long time.
You take like these mobile phones we got these. They're not perfect.
They're definitely not perfect.
They mess up all the time for what I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. But they done made billions and billions and billions. Imagine if some people said, we ain't going to put this on the market until we get it perfect.
That's right.
It sure wouldn't be on the market now.
Yeah.
Every little while, hey, you hello, you there? You got to call them back or something happened. Well, I left you a message. You ain't get the message.
That's right.
But they done made plenty of money off of it.
But just start there. Just for y'all to just get out there and start.
You don't have to have no building.
Yeah.
You do need a sign.
Definitely need a sign.
Yeah, get that sign. It's like this right here. An old man once told me this one time. Mm-hmm. I always remembered it. And I made it my little slogan. He said, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. I like that. So I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I heard of that, like in during my studies, my marketing studies.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Cause I had never heard that before. He said, hey, look here. I was very young.
Yeah.
Boy, it's something, Nick. I remember, see some of these old school guys. See, I was in a mix, like old school and new school in the middle, pretty much. But the old school guys, they don't like no machine making no sign. They don't like that.
Yeah.
They got a big problem with that. He seen where I come up there. So it used to be, and it's still this way now. You can tell if a machine made that versus hand done. But I pull up there and I had this one that the machine had made. Boy, he went to carry on awful, talking trash. What you got that for? Such, you know. But really, you got to kind of adapt to the times. You know.
Got to.
It's not good to try to do all that the old way now.
Yeah, you fall behind. I think.
Yeah. You better learn. Some people scared. Yeah. See, they quit. As soon as they come out with a computer, they quit. You know, they thought they couldn't learn that.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to work with some guys, like we took our system from like Kanban or like a Kanban board, inventory board or whatever.
Yeah.
We took it digital. Well, the global system of inventory was put on the computer, and you had to go in and actually learn where stuff was at, scan it in, scan it out. These old guys, they were like, man, I can't do it. Some of them actually quit.
Yeah, they quit. I know
some of them actually quit instead of adapting.
It's amazing. I know a guy I used to work with named Scotty Beasley. He used to be my apprentice at one time. Well, I was totally computer illiterate. And in fact, they sent me to this class when I was at the plant. And the lady was trying to teach about the computer.
Yeah.
And I said, ma'am, you got to understand, I don't have a clue as to what you're talking about. And when you use those words, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I said, even when you said mouse, I said, this is the only thing I know. I think you're referring to this thing right here that you put in your hand there. I said, when you're talking about software, hardware. Yeah. And when I think about hardware, I'm thinking about that.
Like a hammer or something.
Yeah. I said, you know, but old Scotty, he come by. I was over there, this after I done left on that plane. He was still out there. He stopped by and said, oh, Patterson. Yeah. He said, the computer whiz. You know, he being sarcastic because he knew when I was out there, I didn't know about no computer. But then he seen me out there doing that. Yeah, the computer whiz.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got to be willing to learn.
Yeah, keep willing to learn.
Yeah.
Well, we're drawing it to a close, good people. Patterson Science, it's been a journey. It's been educational, right? So, any shout outs that you want to give?
You know, I forgot that was on. I was singing it, so, well, a shout out.
Any shout outs?
And you saying to certain people?
Anybody you want to say thank you to? Or?
Well, I said thank you, one, to the guy who's my mentor and coming up here, Pastor Finance Chris Jr. He helped me to learn about selling artwork as far as it, you know, like I mentioned earlier about going out to the print places and I learned how to get those prints made and things of that nature. I learned how to sell them too, you know, just listening in many ways. And some of the people I come up with in the sign department down at the plant, Phil Huggins, last year that he died though. You know, there was a guy named Randy Bland, used to be our boss. He gave me some good pointers. Ashley Foreman, he was good. See, Ashley, because I worked with Ashley when I was in high school, he was a tremendous blessing to me. Sometimes that's how I know how to do certain things with business now, because I worked with Ashley and I worked right beside him. And some of the things he used to tell the people, the customers come in. See, some customers, they come in, they don't want to pay taxes. And Ashley used to say, oh, I don't charge them. I just collect them. You know, I'd get that from him, you know. They come in, hello, Patterson, I want to buy no taxes. So I don't try to tax, I just collect them, you know. But I learned a lot from Ashley. He's a big help to me, really. You know, even when I got ready to buy this building here, I went down and talked to him. He told me, "Oh, what you about that building?" It's okay. That's a good deal. Okay, tell him this right here, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, he gave me a good point. You'll make some money on that building. You'll get ready to sell it and all. But he was a big help to me, you know. I appreciate the Lord for all of them, really. Yeah. And everybody that ever worked with me.
Okay.
Falk, he died, but had a car accident. But he was a big help. He's just come by, you know, just to help. He wasn't charging me nothing. Sometimes I paid him, but he just wanted something to do.
Yeah.
He come out, Patterson, what kind of project you got here for me today? You know. Anyway, you know, he was a blessing too.
Good people. Man. That's good. That's good. That you've. That's a major key also. You know, starting up and getting around good people and having good people help you. You know.
Yes.
That's a major key.
Yes.
But Patterson, I think we're gonna wrap it up. It's been amazing, man. It's been a blessing.
Okay. I appreciate this coming by.
Oh yeah. It's been a time. How long we been going? It's been about 4 hours.
I don't know. It's been a while. I don't have no idea what time it is now.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I hope it works out.
Yeah. But all right, good people. That's been SC Power Moves, Patterson Signs, New Ellenton, South Carolina. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out. Peace. Yeah. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share.